Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to PatFacts. Patrick here, Pat on your back, personal fitness, where we have our kind of PatFacts, our live information session where we give you the tools, the tips, the feedback, the suggestions, the ideas, the systems to help you be operationally fit to fight the daily battles that life hands you. Again, everyone's having a wonderful week. Sorry for last week. We had a few sound issues on multiple platforms, actually. I had some mic issues on my StreamYard and Instagram. The fan from the laptop was picking it up when I had it in one position. So hopefully everything's nice and clear this week. Apologies for that. I just wanted to give you a couple of announcements before we start. Sunrise Strong Fall Edition is beginning September 6th on Tuesday, Thursday, 6 a.m. Yep, 6 a.m. Tough to get into, tough to get up for. But when you get there, again, see the sunrise, get a good workout in, use our Liebert fat bands to do some strength training. We do some cardio, we do some core work. Get a good start to your day. 8-week program, twice a week at Centennial Beach. So stay tuned for some posts about that. But if you're interested or have questions, feel free to send me a DM and we can get those answered for you. But that again will start September 6th. Next week. Sorry, guys. Next week with we won't be live here in Barrie. They're having a ceremony to dedicate one of the park areas to Will Dwyer. And if you've been with us for when we've had the Terry Fox group on, some of the representatives on, Will Dwyer was the $1 Million Man. He raised $1 million for the Terry Fox Foundation. He passed away sadly earlier this year. So they're going to dedicate an area to him, which is along the path of the Terry Fox Run that is run in Barrie every year. So Terry's brother, I believe, is coming out to speak, and there's going to be some presentations and everything. So I'm going to be attending that. So it won't be a formal PatFacts, but what I'm going to try my best to do is do a little bit of streaming from there. So we'll hop on and kind of show you what's going on, a little bit of sights and sounds, so you can take in that. So no formal PatFacts of streaming next week. We're there 5 to 7 is the event. So either at some point or throughout, I'll see what they're doing, and again, what reception's like and things. We'll pop in and try to give you a little sneak peek, and so you can see what's going on there. And if you're in the Barrie area, again, come on down, and we'll show our support for Will and this great venture in his honor, and to support the Terry Fox Foundation as well. Keeping in mind that as we talk about Terry Fox and back to school is coming in a couple of weeks, we talked. Hey, Natty, we talked a few weeks ago about just planning out your fall, planning out your next so many months. What are your busy times? What are your maybe lighter times, and how can you modify your workout schedule to accommodate that, or your goal schedule, whatever the case is, if it's fitness related or if it's something else. Natty, for some reason it won't. It wasn't streaming to Twitch, but it looks like it just connected now. For some reason it wasn't connected on. Hey, Bonnie, good evening. Good to see you. So we've talked about trying to again, look ahead to our months ahead to see what's coming up. But we talked even looking from now until maybe Christmas about what we could be doing and how we could, again, plan and modify for that as we need to. And what I wanted to kind of just touch base on tonight is think of some of the characteristics of the fall weather, and keep that in mind as you're maybe making plans with your workouts, or even just your physical activity. It's going to get darker sooner. I know the other morning I went down for the beach workout for Sunrise Strong, and it was still a little dark actually in the morning, a little darker than it had been. The lights were still on. It was overcast day, but it still seemed a little darker in general. So there's going to be a little less light to use. The temperature in theory could be cooler, but it'll probably fluctuate quite a bit. We'll probably have a couple of warm days here and there, maybe cooler nights and mornings. So again, make sure you're prepping for those. Better to over layer and be able to modify than maybe be underdressed and have to deal with the weather. Typically, it could be a little more rain as well. So want to make sure we're preparing for that, for those wet conditions that might come up for us. Still staying hydrated. Again, maybe we need some rain gear with us or a raincoat. And as we've said before, check the forecast. Be sure to be a little more diligent with it. Check it beforehand, check it the night before, check it the morning of if you're heading out. Know what the day is going to bring you so you can prepare for that. Have the right attire, making sure you have lots of water. Even if it is cooler, we're still going to lose those fluids. We want to stay hydrated. So make sure you're taking these factors into consideration when you're planning out your fall months, because there will be some changes coming up probably pretty soon with regards to weather and things like that. So we want to think of our time and our events and what's going on, but then also taking in some of those outside factors, maybe like weather, locations. If you're working out at home, if you're at a gym, if you're outside, there could be some changes that happen this time of year. Inside workouts. If you followed me, we were doing our kind of live workouts in the morning. Hey, Chico, welcome in. Sorry, Twitch is glitching tonight. I'm not on there. I'm not sure. It's trying to connect, but won't connect for some reason. So thanks for hopping over to Instagram. We've chatted before on our live workouts that even if you're inside at home, your environment changes. Maybe you switch from air conditioning to heat, or the heat's on more often. It could make the air a little drier. You need to make sure you're thinking of that. Maybe your warm-ups and cool downs need to adjust a little bit, whether again you're outside, inside. If you're outside, more time warming up is probably needed. Maybe a little shorter cool down. Hey Jen, good evening, welcome, good to see you. Or maybe a little shorter cool down outside, or cool down inside. And if it's cooler, we need to do a little more of a warm up inside, more of a warm up, or again, maybe we do our regular warm up inside and then head outside and go on for our activity, whatever the case may be. But those are different factors we can adjust as well to make sure that we can keep things going and be consistent and safe, but again, adjust and acclimatize to the elements that we always have to deal with. Thinking of, again, if it gets getting darker sooner, we need to wear reflective gear or light colored clothing, just so we show up good on those under those car lights or street lights, so people can see us, to be extra safe. And as we all should always do anyway, but maybe especially fall, winter time again, where it gets darker sooner and the weather can be a little bit unpredictable, let someone know what you're doing, where you're going. That way, if something does come up, then someone knows where to maybe take a look for you, or to reach out, check in with you, make sure things are okay. Let someone know where you're going to be. Most of us now have probably a cell phone that we can take with us, so it can be reached. And again, someone can check in, or if something happens to us, we can phone out for that help if we need to. So think of things like that: water bottle, phone with you. Just be sure to turn the ringer off if you're worried about distractions from calls and notifications. Maybe get your playlist set up, get it on, and then turn the ringer off, or those notifications on mute. My phone, or iPhone now has, with an update, has a focus button. And before it was kind of a do not disturb, but now it has options with it. So you can set up a work focus where every day, if you wanted to, between your work hours, whatever they are, hey, Kimmy, welcome in. You can, sorry guys, just stop this and get it out of here. Good. You can set it up so every day, if you're at work, say 9 to 5, your phone goes into do not disturb mode, 9 to 5. Or you can set it up for hours at a time, different things. So you can set up maybe a workout focus so that it'll shut your phone notifications off. And usually you get a notification now. If you can set it up so that if I'm texting you and you have your focus on, it'll send me a thing saying notifications are turned off. And then I know that you'll get it when you get it, kind of thing. There's different ways to work with. Again, you try to use some of this tech. but we want to take things with us that we need to have. So again, our phone, maybe your heart rate monitor or a Garmin if you need to know where you're going if you're not using your phone, or if you prefer that kind of Garmin GPS. There's different tech out there that we can use, making sure that your tech you're taking is charged before you go, whether again it's your phone or a heart rate monitor or whatever it is, have those batteries charged. You don't want to get out somewhere and maybe need some assistance and have dead batteries. So make sure things are charged up. Make sure you have maybe some backups or have things ready. Again, if you're outside, maybe you layer up and then make sure we're prepared for the elements after you check that forecast. And then if you're driving somewhere to your activity, hey, Chris, welcome in. If you're driving somewhere, hey, Cameron, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe take some extra layers, maybe a blanket or something to have just in case you get a little chilled, or again, something comes up and you need to just kind of take care of yourself on the way home. Maybe some snacks, water. Again, think ahead of what's coming. Again, fall, I think, can be kind of unpredictable. As Natty mentioned, it is today is great for some outside exercise for sure. And as we head into early fall, usually, eventually, the humidity will break a little bit, and we get a nice breeze, which makes it good. And again, that's a little more safe for some people and bearable for others as well. We can get out of the humidity and get some work in, then we can really put that intensity and effort behind what it is we're doing. We want to be aware of the constant changes that are coming up for us. And again, just like we talked a few weeks ago about looking at our own changes with work schedules and timing, or maybe your kids are in extracurricular activities, and your life typically could be a little busier in the fall once back to school and back to work and summer vacations are over. So too, the weather is going to start changing for us. We want to keep those factors in mind. And even if your goals aren't fitness related, we still want to be aware of some of these environmental changes and what's going on, because if it's darker sooner, that could start our nighttime routine a little sooner. Our circadian rhythms could be off a little bit. Once it starts to get dark, that's a cue for our body to say, okay, it's time to get ready for bed. Let's start winding down. Let's get things kind of a slower process. So maybe say after dinner, you get a little bit of productivity and you can do some work. Maybe in the winter, that might be a little tricky for you, or the fall. Because it is darker sooner, you might not be as productive at that time as you were. So maybe you need to adjust your times when you work on that goal, just like you could adjust your workout times. Maybe you could get in a midday workout in the fall because, again, it's cooler, it's not as warm as it was through the summer. You can make those adjustments as you need to, and maybe that change in the weather accommodates the changes that come into your life that we talked about before. So maybe your schedule is changing and your evenings are busier because you have meetings or again, kids to take to extracurriculars or whatever the case is. But maybe now you can't work out in the evening as much, but you know what? I can do a midday workout. I can take a lunch break and get a workout in because it's not as hot. It won't be as detrimental to our health or as dangerous or risky to do because, again, the temperature isn't quite so high. So again, we can take a look at all these things. These are typically areas where when people come up to these obstacles, they fall off the wagon. They stop. Well, I'm too busy. I can't work out at night, and I can't work out during the day because it's too hot. Well, is it in the fall? Maybe we can work around that. Maybe you can look at some different options that are present to you. I can't work out at night because it gets dark too soon. I can't go for my runs. Okay, let's look at the morning, or let's look at, again, a midday run in the fall might not be too bad. It might shake things up for you, re-energize you a little bit, get you back on track as well. So remember, we would like to say there's no one way to do anything. There's no cookie cutter approach for everybody. We're all different in what we do. Natty says her circadian rhythm doesn't exist. We all have different sleep patterns, sleep habits, sleep routines based on the type of work we're doing. If we work from home versus commuting, if we're not working right now, if we're retired, if we're just getting into the workforce, if we're in the workforce, everyone has a little different schedule, different needs, different routines. Again, the idea is to find what works for you and to make sure you're trying things to see what can work for you, what can get you on that right path. Give it some time. If it doesn't work, that's okay. Feel free to change things up, but just make sure you do give things the adequate time to try to get them to stick and to try to work through some of those bumps. And again, we come back to our point of trying to take the time to actually sit with your pen, paper, your phone, your apps, whatever it is you're using, and look ahead to plan some of this out, figure out these things. I don't know, say where you like to run, maybe it's a nature trail or it's through a park. That park might close in the fall, it might close at dusk, which would be sooner again in the fall time. So we need to figure those things out. One of the first years I ran what is now Sunrise Strong, it wasn't called that then, but it was kind of the first indoctrination of it. I was at a different park than I am now. And when the fall came, they closed it. But I had never really gone there that much. I didn't know it closed. I thought it closed at dusk, and there weren't really any signs up about it until we showed up one morning and the gate was locked and you couldn't get in into the park itself with your car. So we parked on the road and went in for that day and kind of figured things out. But again, know your areas, know what's going to happen, know any changes that someone else could implement that would affect you. Hours changing for fall, access could change. Again, weather could affect whether certain trails or things are open. There's lots of different things to keep in mind. And like we like to remind ourselves here, the more we can prepare for some of these things, or at least look ahead and try our best to prepare, we're not caught off guard so much, and we can better adapt to them and modify as we need to, which is what we want to be able to do. And that should hopefully help us stay as consistent as we can with our health and fitness goals, or again, our goals in general, whatever those are. So keep yourself in mind. Again, if you have any tips you want to share with each other, again, here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, not Twitch. They're being difficult tonight, but we'll be back hopefully next week. Feel free to share with each other here in the chats, whether you're live with us or on recording. Again, let us know maybe some fall rituals you put in, or some changes you implement in fall to help adapt to ever changing to life. Again, life's going to change. It's going to be different for us. So it's how we kind of adapt and handle some of those changes. So the more we think of them in advance, they don't catch us off guard. We can be prepared for them. We can have alternate plans if need be. And that, again, will help us stay on track and keep us moving forward. So be sure to share with each other here in the chat. We want to, again, create that supportive community as best we can. And again, look ahead, take some time. Hopefully you've got your notes from a couple weeks ago when you sat and planned out your fall and your winter, looking at maybe some peak times when you're busy and it'll be harder to work towards your goals. And we had those down times, those valleys where maybe you're not as busy with work and things, where you can really focus on putting some more intention to your goals and working towards them. And again, now take the environmental factors into effect and use that for your plan as well. Add that next layer. Well, I want to do this, but can I do this? Can I do this to stay active? No, because it gets dark sooner. So what else can I do? What can I modify? Can I combine a couple of activities while I'm waiting for my kids at their extracurricular activity? Is there something I can do? Can I read a book? Let's do a podcast. Can I bring my exercise bands and do a workout in the parking lot? Can I go for a walk around the area they're at? Or do they, a lot of parents I have seen, once their kids are old enough, they'll bring their kids to swimming lessons, say, or a drop-in activity, and then they'd go to the gym to get their workout in while the kids are at the activity, and then they pick them up on their way out. Again, kind of making the most of your time. So looking at some of those ways where, like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, again, trying to not maybe add more chores to your list or to do things, but combining them and grouping them where you can make the most use of that time. Your kids at swimming lessons, you can go to the gym. You're doing some physio, chiro, and you have exercises, incorporate them into your normal workout routines. So that, again, it just becomes part of that workout or some extra time. You don't have to find time to get that extra little bit of stretching and exercise therapy kind of in. Again, we suggested here, maybe Wednesday nights are your night to do some planning and some prep work for your progress towards your goals. Because again, you can kind of use PatFacts as that cue to watch the show, take in some of the information that we share with you, and then again, go and grab your journal, your planner, your agenda, your tracking apps, whatever you're using, and make those plans, make those adjustments. set things up, and again, make the most of your time, kind of group things together so your mind is in that space anyway. Take advantage of it, use it, rather than waiting till maybe Sunday and then try to get yourself into that rhythm and that routine of trying to plan things out. Again, we're all about trying to create that good system for you, and that great routine, so that whether you're working on health and fitness or professional goals, personal goals, whatever the case, you can apply that system to them and have the framework to help you get through that. So that's it for tonight, gang. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to those who hopped over to different platforms because Twitch wasn't working. Sorry for the inconvenience. Again, those that missed it, if you're in the Barrie local area, Sunrise Strong kicks off September 6th, 6 a.m., 12-week or 8-week program, sorry, twice a week at the Barrie Centennial Beach at the waterfront. And next week, we won't be live with a formal PatFacts, but I will check in from, again, the waterfront in Barrie. They're dedicating a park to Will Dwyer, the $1 Million Man. He raised $1 million for the Terry Fox Foundation and passed away earlier this year. So Terry's brother is coming up. And there's going to be a presentation and a little get together and a dedication of a park area to Will. So I'll be attending that. So I'll do my best to check in live where we can. So again, if you're in the Barrie area, stop by. That's 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. next week, the 31st of August. So we'll be checking in. I'm not sure the time I'll pop in live, but just keep your notifications on, and hopefully you'll see us when we pop in live here to kind of give you a sneak peek into that. And again, DM me if you're looking for information on Sunrise Strong. And we'll have some online coaching information and a couple programs, Slope Fit, a ski and snowboard conditioning program coming soon, and a Desk Fit. So Desk Fit will be a program to help you kind of overcome being stuck at a desk too often. If you have a bit of a desk job or sitting a little more, we want to kind of overcome some of the imbalances and things that can come from being at a desk. So some of those programs coming soon as well. If you're a fitness trainer, checking me out. We're going to be doing some Libre fitness courses later this year with the Libre equalizers. If you want me to come to your gym to do some training like that, let me know. Send me a DM. We can set some things up for you like that. So thanks as always for tuning in. Thanks for the support. Thanks for finding me wherever I happen to be if your first location doesn't work. Stay safe, everybody. Remember, keep that self-care ramped up very high. Always make yourself that top priority that you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Have a great night. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.